Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube. How you guys all doing tonight? I was kind of messaging with Crypto Airborne. Looks like I'm going to port him in right now. Crypto Airborne, are you
What's
there?
up? Can you
Thanks
hear
for
me?
being on tonight, brother. How you
For
doing?
sure. I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing tonight? Or you?
Not. I'm doing pretty good. How's the chat people? Can everybody hear me? Okay, or do I need to turn my mic up? Bear with me 1 second here. How's that, folks? Any better? Okay, cool. So let's get into this, folks. Looks like we got about 12 people here, so that looks like that's good enough to start. Don't you agree, Crypto Airborne? Of course.
Of course. I got
So,
like 50 tabs open. I'm trying to consolidate.
so are you going to be doing any market news or anything like that?
No, I don't know. I looked at CKB and I was like, oh my God, we got to go live or do something.
Yeah.
And I got my CKB miners set up,
Atta boy.
which is pretty exciting.
How are those Wi-Fi power lines doing?
Yeah, I'm still monitoring the temperature and all that stuff, but it's doing like 104 degrees, like just on the very limit of like what the manufacturer recommends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still monitoring, but I think I'm gonna go and get the one that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Crypto Airborne for coming on tonight. You guys should definitely follow him. I will throw his tag down in the comments section. So follow him on Twitter. Of course, good old Six Fig just passed up Crypto Airborne in followers, so that's always a good thing.
Did you?
Follow me.
Oh
Yeah, I
wow,
did, dude.
dude!
Coming up.
You just
Coming
had an
up.
influx today. I saw that earlier today. I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Well, congratulations, man. You deserve
Thank
it.
you.
605. Wow. Dude, you can
Dude,
do
that's
Twitter
crazy.
Spaces now, I think.
Is that right? Okay. I
Yeah,
might
once
have to
you hit
look into it.
600.
I do know Strika is looking to do Twitter Spaces as well. So if everybody follows Strika too, I'm going to go ahead and throw his tag in the comments section as well. Give him a follow. Strika is a beast when it comes to social media, and I know he helps my channel and Crypto Airborne
Me
out.
too.
I mean, yeah. So thank you for all you do, Strika. Uh, Definitely appreciate it, 100%. So, what do you think about this pump tonight, Crypto Airborne?
I don't know. I think it's been a long-awaited pump.
Mm-hmm.
I still think we have ways to go. I tweeted the other day the crypto market cap totals over 2.5 trillion right now, so that's bullish. If you I know everyone's into different coins and whatnot, like when you guys are investing, but if you want to zoom out and look at the big picture, if you look at the total coin market cap, we just hit the all-time high. So I think we're bullish in the macro perspective of things. So if you guys are in a certain coin where it's been down lately, or it all depends on what you're investing in, but I think we're going to be pretty bullish here soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least on the charts.
And I mean, sorry to interrupt, but I mean, you could almost barely make the argument here that there might be some sort of ascending triangle here for an explosion to the upside.
Yeah.
Just looking at this, I'm seeing that as a possibility.
I know tomorrow's the launch of the futures Bitcoin ETF, which I've been watching that all tonight. Everyone's like, oh, is that the buy the rumor, sell the news thing? Or nobody knows. I don't know.
So from what I was reading, when futures launched back in 2017 or something, for Bitcoin, I think it might have been in Canada or something. I can't remember. but it was like right around the peak of this blow off top back in 17 and 18. So hopefully it's not the case this time, because we really don't have that blow off top. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I think we're just beginning. I've watched so many. I mean, I've been in the space for 5-6 years now, and it's just absolutely crazy. I still go back to my different indicators. I think I've told you guys about this, but the pi cycle top indicator.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if this is a double cycle repeat of 2013, 2014, you can look at the pi cycle top indicator, and it literally predicted the last 12 years.
Let's pull it up right now. I think I have access to it.
So I have this like on my tab every day. So
oh man, there's quite a few different pi cycle top indicators. Let's just
try that
start
one.
off with the top one here. Okay, I don't know what the F that is. That looks like a crackhead brewed up some sort of indicator inside a meth lab, and then it blew up and turned on. Jesus. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? All right, we'll try this one. Okay, cool. So I don't know what the hell this is either. This could be some sort of manipulative data, so we're going to get rid of this. This has absolutely no benefit to us.
Do you know what it is? Like, I can give you a quick overview about it.
Yeah, why don't you? I know what it is, but if you have a good explanation as to what it is.
I'm going to read it straight from like the site. I mean, it's not going to make sense to people who are not really like technical analysis, but like if you're like me, where I kind of understand this because I've been looking at it for a while. But basically what the pi cycle top indicator is historically has been effective in picking out the timing of the market cycle highs within 3 days. It uses, so I don't know about you, but you never talk about the 111-day moving average. Do you know anything about that?
I've heard about it. I don't use it, but we can pull it up here.
Yeah, so as you're talking, so basically what this does, it uses the 111-day moving average and a newly created multiple of the 350-day moving average times 2. And then they go back through the past 3 market cycles when the 111 moves up and crosses the 350-day moving average, and it coincides with the price of Bitcoin peaking. So it's been accurate throughout the life cycle of Bitcoin. So you have stock to flow ratio, and then you have pi cycle top indicator. But
that's interesting that you bring up that 111-day moving average, because instantly I see the 111 moving average golden crossing the 200. And here we kind of had another example of it kind of golden crossing the 200, and it was nothing but uphill from there. So I mean, same with right here. I mean, we could be in for a nice run just based off these technicals. So that's a good that's kind of good information that you just put up there. So we're gonna throw up.
So I just put in the comments. It's just,
you might be in the
military.
Chat.
We always say like you got to look at multiple things. Like put this in your kit bag. So like just as something else to put in the back of your head as you guys do your own research. We always, well, I always preach that, like do your own research when it comes to everything. But the pi cycle top indicator, use that as an indicator for this next big move. And like then look back to 2013, 2014. I think everything set aside, all the FUD, all the technicals, look at this chart. It's been historically accurate along with the pi cycle top. Or I mean the plan B.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good indicator to be using for sure. So yeah, it's just interesting to see how this will pan out. See if we get another reversal here to the upside, and life will be good. But let's go ahead and just kind of look into a little bit of CKBTA. So bear with me 1 second here. So earlier today in the video, I was kind of talking about how we had this squeeze going on. We could see the highs getting lower and the lows getting higher. I was kind of speculating that we would squeeze to the upside and how important it was for us to maintain a position in between this 382 and 50% line, I believe it was. Let me just pull up the chart. 23, 382 and the 50% line. So this is the playground we are in now. If we look at, I'm just going to go ahead, folks. Bear with me 1 second. I've got my trading view going nuts right now, so sorry.
Yeah, that's BS. This guy's just a liar. He's actually
guy.
he's worried his rash is bothering him really bad right now, so that's why.
Yeah, and I can't thank you enough for giving it to me. So it was that one wild night. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? So here we are. Gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I gotta readjust this one more time. I love TradingView, but I fucking hate it with a passion. Trust me, folks. If TD Ameritrade had crypto on it, I'd probably be doing TA on there. So anyways, this is our playground now. We can see that CKB has positioned itself on top of the 382. We need to start moving upwards to this 0.0235-ish level. Now, I do think that at this point in time, we are kind of forming possibly actually I'm going to borrow, see this trend line here, and we can kind of make out how there could be some sort of ascending triangle forming at this point in time. I think that this supports it 100%, and I do think that we will see this ascending triangle go full-blown into some Elliott wave theory to the upside as long as the market stays healthy. And if you're wondering what Elliott wave theory is, it's just a series of impulse waves. So basically we have 0.1, 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is always can never be the shortest wave. And so we might see something like this occur on a micro level, and we will kind of notch our way up there. And at some point in time, we are going to have to test this 50% level. And this is going to be a toughie to get through, especially if the market's dogging.
What's the time frame on that?
So,
like, how far is that fifth wave? Is that bringing us up to December or January?
So this could take place over a matter of hours or days or weeks. So nobody knows, but based off of this potential.
Like, I suck at TA, but can't you add a time sequence to the?
We can. Yeah, we can. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll throw up a little time sequence here. Let's look at this in hindsight. Crypto Airborne. Okay.
A challenger shit. I mean, your TA.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. I like the challenge. So we can see that by measuring this swing high to this swing low, we were able to catch a reversal point here. And you can see, if you look really closely, we can see that we have a doji star here, and that was a reversal point to the downside. And then right here, of course, we can see that it predicted this uptrend here. So that's
insane.
Well, shit. At 11:20 tonight, within 5-10 minutes of 11:20 Central Time, so wherever you are, within the next 50 minutes, if you're watching this right now, we might have something significant happen at 11:20. No guarantees. This could just be a simple uh, reversal to the downside. It could be a reversal to go lower. But
wow, we're really squeezing though
oh hell yeah,
within
yep.
the like that the triangle, right? Or what is
Yep.
it?
Yeah, so this is an ascending triangle possibly here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting pattern. We had a symmetrical triangle kind of squeezing up into this this ascending triangle. So we might see some movement to the upside around this time frame.
So
Who
what
knows?
time frame do you do that on? Are
You
you on
can,
right now?
yeah. So you can do it on really any time frame you want.
But does it change from the 4 hour to 1 hour? You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
what's more accurate, like based on your experience as a trader?
So when you're talking short-term trades, like if you're planning on just gonna buy into CKB, if it runs up 20%, you're gonna get out. You should be looking at like the 1 to 5 minute chart. And it's one of those things where if you trade the 1 minute chart, and I learned this from an old trader who made a lot of money. I'm talking uh, probably millions. He said to me, and I'll never forget this, if you trade on a 1 minute chart, you sell on a 1 minute chart. If you trade on a 5 minute chart, you sell on a 5 minute chart. And I mean, some of that is, you can take that with a grain of salt, obviously, because he didn't have access to the kind of charts we have today. But I'll never forget that.
Nice.
So it just kind of depends. So like right here, for example, we could go to a 4-hour chart. I mean, it's super easy to just kind of start connecting these dots, folks. This is how you do it. And what do we get? A symmetrical triangle. Okay. Now nobody knows which way it's going to go after that. But if you could determine that we are squeezing into this little section here, then you could say, okay, well, maybe I'm going to trade on the 5 minute chart and really wait for this asset to start increasing its volatility and volume, stuff like that, because you need volume to sell. One advice that if you are making a short-term trade, never FOMO, never jump back into it. Set your goals beforehand and execute them. Don't hang on for too long. Oh man,
goal is though you always want to buy the tip and sell the dip, right?
No, you want to buy the dip and sell the tip.
I know.
Unless you're doing some Wall Street bets shit, then it's like celebrated that you bought the tip and sold on the dip, which I don't understand, because at the end of the day, folks, we're all here to make some money, right?
Exactly.
So CKB, folks, is going to ping pong around. Oh. It's really in this precarious place. Like, I could easily see CKB running back down to the 0.01273-ish area. But if we can break free of this this symmetrical triangle and just start our run upwards, I would prefer that, and I think all of you would too as well. So one question that I get asked a whole lot is, where price action is going to go. And usually when people start asking that question in the comments, I just go ahead and heart the comment.
Yeah.
Because I hate speculating for that stuff, especially like long term.
It's too hard, especially when you get a big channel or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then people are going to go back and analyze every video that you promised. Oh, it was going to, what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just. Whatever.
Yeah, so it's definitely tricky.
Yeah.
And I mean, like right now, for CKB it's looking fire. We can see that we got the inverse head and shoulders. I mean, playing out perfectly. Yeah. I mean, this is great to see. We can see that when we throw up a Fibonacci extension on a long or a medium term, more relevant previous price action history, we can kind of see that current price action is rubbing up against the 786 on this 12-hour chart. So we kind of fell back down to the 61.8. Great. Like, I'm perfectly happy with this. We can see that we are building to get past the 61 or this 786. And on this 4-hour chart, we will have nothing stopping us but Bitcoin from hitting this 2 cent, 2.5 cent level, because let's face it, we got a golden cross on the 4-hour chart. 50 moving average is down here, 200 is here. And I think what's going to happen is, if you guys can see this cloud here, what we're going to see is probably something like this price action move in to this cloud, and then we'll see this cloud kind of move sideways, and then we're going to see price action jump up, and we're going to see these little impulse waves like that to the upside. So it's going to get interesting. Definitely, we're too far away from the cloud right now, so I think that we are going to consolidate sideways back in towards the cloud here. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and we'll get back into CKB here. I just want to go through these comments section here.
I know.
Looks like we got 45 people on, so that's a pretty good stream tonight.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to the show. Man, we are blowing up in the comment section. So I'm just going to start off with like Paul Lavia. Do you think CKB can hit $150? Probably not, unless they did some sort of huge token coin burn, which I don't think they will. $1.50 on the other hand, absolutely, I do think that is possible. It looks like No Apathy says the more CKB is used, the more scarce it becomes. It will definitely hit $1 and off to bigger numbers. I 100% agree with you, and you are totally right on that. And that's the one thing about CKB, is that in order to use the Nervous Network, you actually need to go out and procure CKB. If you want an NFT or mint an NFT, you have to physically buy CKB and inject that NFT with CKB. And the interesting thing about NFTs and stuff like that is, when you go to trade them, it's basically free. And here's why: because the network pulls off the CKB that is injected with CKB. And so the thing is, you'll be able to trade an NFT like 70,000 or 100,000 times or something before you need to add more CKB to it. It's crazy. That's something that people are going to have to deal with at some point in time. But we have that. People will be building dApps, and they will consume and hold CKB. So with all these NFTs eating up 160 to 200 CKB at a pop, I mean, you got to figure a few million NFTs, let's just say 10 million NFTs, will consume roughly 16 million CKB to 20 million CKB. So it's definitely this big storage game in a way with CKB. And not to mention all these people that are storing on the Nervous DAO. So let's see here. If CKB goes now to 5 cents, it will go down in the bear market, so we can buy more. I hope not. I hope this thing goes all the way up. $10 possible. It looks like we lost Crypto Airborne. I know he's been having some internet connection issues. $10, man. Well, let's get into this. Is $10 possible? So I'm going to bring over my calculator, and let's just get into that. So the market, let's see, the total available amount of coins for CKB is 28 billion. So let's go 28 billion. So we would know that, if CKB and when CKB hits $1, we will have a $28 billion market cap within CKB. So let's times this by 10. And we have a $280 billion market cap. And that's what it would take to get CKB to $10. So that's interesting. But only time will tell. I mean, even if we look at a $5 CKB, that'd be $140 billion market cap, which is very high. But in all due time, it's totally possible. And I certainly wouldn't discount it in the grand scheme of things. 5, 10, 15 years from now. Yeah, $10 would be insane for sure. Yeah, and NFT creation on Nervous is not user-friendly. That is true. It's a pain in the butt right now. I know there's a lot of legwork that has to be done. So a good way to mint, the easiest way I found to mint NFTs on Nervous Network is to basically go through Golden Legend or MyBow, and what you have to do is send them CKB or get in contact with them, say, hey, I need so many energy points. Basically, you send them CKB, and then they will go ahead and give you energy points, which will allow you to mint your NFT to the Nervous Network. And so this is a pain in the butt. I know Chinese users they can actually kind of buy it right from an online store, these energy points. And so I do believe that MyBow will be transitioning that sort of CKB payment system for energy points probably fairly soon. So it's going to get easier, but 24x, I do share your frustration with that as well. So Strika, the heavy hitter of the channel, says $5 will do me, but I'm not sure I'll ever sell all my CKB. I really love the project. I want to be a part of it as it grows. I couldn't agree with you guys more on all of this. I'm doing the same thing, man. We've been in this for so long at these low prices. It's going to be tough to make that sale. I have some numbers that I will sell my CKB at, $1 being one of them, $2. But I'm in this for the long game. I'm running 5 CKB crypto miners. So I'm definitely looking to collect and sell millions of CKB when the time comes. But patience is the number one game, and there's a chance that Nervous Network might fail. I mean, let's just be real. It's not likely at this point in time, I don't think, but you have to consider everything. But I do think that with everything that Nervous Network has going for it, there's nothing stopping it at this point. It's just going to grow. I do think over time, people will adopt it, especially once the UXTO Alliance gets better recognition in the space. So that is awesome to see. Let's see here. Yeah, dude, I hear you. I'm very bullish as well. For someone who's never mined before, can you put out a tutorial for mining CKB for beginners? I have a few videos. Let me see if I can pull one up on the screen and I'll show them. So if you're interested in getting into mining CKB, folks, let's just go ahead and bring this over here. Can you guys see this? Okay. So if you're interested in mining, I did some videos on this a while back, mining crypto versus buying the bag. And then I also did a video on how to set up a CK box miner. So some of these older videos are, a month old. But you can see that I have got a ton of them, so they get mixed in with the rest of the pack quite easily. Just looking at, I can't believe I've done all these videos on CKB. This is just insane. So let's get at this. Let's get back to the questions here. So thank you, Sunshine. Do appreciate you stopping by. Let's see here. Once China stops flooding, CKB will flourish. I do agree with that. Even though CKB and Nervous Network has somewhat of Chinese backing, when they FUD on the rest of the market, it does impact CKB for sure. Is the Yoke swap operational now? Hope it starts to attract more users. I'm not sure on that, but I did play around in the sandbox and it's awesome. One thing I want you guys to know is that once Yokai swap goes live, you might want to consider picking up a couple of their native tokens, because I think that it has the potential to explode. It's only got like 200 million coins, native coins. So just an FYI, not financial or trading advice or anything like that. Let's go ahead here. Since we kind of got CKB on the chart, I'm just going to go ahead and clear this. And we're going to look at this thing on like a 3-day chart. And interestingly enough here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of point out some similarities like we did before. You know, my focus is, here is one heck of a run. And what led up to that run? Well, we had a little spike in price, which led to a downfall, a nasty corrective wave. And we can kind of see some similarities. Here we get some corrective waves coming to the downside. We got a little pop up to this 50 moving average, and then a drop, and then another shot upwards. And this is kind of exactly what happened the last time. And this is on a 3-day chart. So I do think that the potential is there to move upwards. And if we go ahead and really pay attention to how much CKB rose during this time, let's look at this. 0.00266 cents all the way up to 0.0416. So that was a 1,500% move. And so let's see what 1,500% looks like from this bottom. Let's just take a peek at it, because it did it once. It can do it again. So let's go ahead. So here is 1,500% roughly, about as close as I can get. And that's a 12-cent move. So it's not like it's outside of the realm to hit 12 cents. I do think that we will see something like that. No apathy. I hear you. I've got money sitting waiting for 2 more CKB miners, and they were available the other day, and I went to buy them yesterday and they were out. So I'm playing the waiting game right alongside with you. So I think at this point in time, if anybody has any cryptos that they want me to check out, if you've got a favorite cryptocurrency or a bag you're holding, you want me to check it out, drop it in the comments section below. I'm going to go ahead and designate maybe 10 minutes here, 15 minutes to breaking down some of those cryptos on the charts. Again, huge shout out to Strika. And go ahead and follow him. He is definitely trying to create a community on Twitter where we can do daily spaces. This is going to be huge. I can tell you, every Thursday, Nervous Network does them, and it's like people are starving for more of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and throw his tag in the comment section. Give him a follow, guys, for sure. He's definitely a beast. Looks like KMD. So we'll start it off with Strike a Coin here. So KMD. Oh yeah, Komodo. I remember was it you asking me about this the other day, Strika? Looks like TradingView recently picked this up in February. So where is this thing going? Looks like we have a nice little floor right around the 39.40 level, somewhere in there. Let's just kind of look at this. Okay. So this is definitely going into some sort of squeeze, in my opinion. Let's just draw some lines here and see if we can figure some stuff out. It's my favorite way to do it. And so we can see that we are in this sideways consolidating pattern. And the good thing about this is that we are seeing the lows get higher. And then we did have a little influx here as well. So it wouldn't surprise me to see KMD. Let's get on a 1-day chart. I don't know why I'm still on this 3-day chart. Wouldn't surprise me to see KMD just kind of glide from, within these trend lines, anywhere in between $3.70 down to 65 cents. So let's get real with this too quick. One thing I'm going to look for here when I draw this Fibonacci is the 127 up here. Okay. Maybe down to this point. So I do think that at this point, we might likely see price action come up to right around the $2 level if this thing goes bullish. And let's just see where we're sitting for some bearish stuff. Ooh, I don't like that. So yeah, this is definitely flirting right with the 786. So I do think that we will see this thing really kind of bouncing between this $3.70 range. I know that sucks. That's a really crappy answer. But this sideways squeeze, will likely push this thing right up to about $1.78 if it stays within this symmetrical triangle. And this is pushing it out quite a ways. So this is kind of still early in the game. This is kind of an odd price action. It'd be hard for me to kind of trade this right now, and I would probably stay away from this just personally. So let's go ahead and let's see. Sorry guys, I'm looking through these comments and you guys are blowing it up. I love it. So just a little keep on keep. Okay, keep. Let's look at keep. I don't know if I've ever looked at this one. I might have. Okay, so this might be a new one. This is what I freaking saw the other day when I got a notification from Coinbase. Yeah, this definitely got the Coinbase effect for sure. And we can see that this thing squeezed, Coinbase launched, and we saw price action really start ripping. So one thing I'm noticing right out of the gates here is the potential for Elliott wave theory to the upside. So let's just pretend that it's going to move upwards like this. And let's really look at this at maybe on a 5 or 15 minute chart. And what I'm looking for is a structure just like this within these candles. So let's look at this quick. Okay, so this is exactly what I just said. This is the structure that I'm looking for. This is Elliott wave theory in full-blown motion, folks. This is what you guys need to be looking for when these breakouts happen. This is what I'm looking for. When CKB gets listed to Coinbase, you bet your ass I'm going to sell the top and buy back in. When we start seeing Elliott wave theory move like this to the upside and we can actually trace it like this, definitely helpful when it comes to trading. So keep, yeah, this is looking good. Let's look at this on a 1 hour chart. And so what we have here, folks, is a sideways squeeze into a symmetrical triangle. And this is very important because we have a really nice bull flagpole here. On top of that, this is forming a beautiful flag. So wherever this thing lies, we might see this thing turn around rather quickly, actually. So if we see this conversion line start arcing towards this blue line, I do think that we will see price action start going up. And this could actually be 0.022. So we might be seeing, bear with me here, folks. We might be seeing Keep trade something like this over the next, I don't know, couple days as well, because we are seeing Elliott wave theory inside of Elliott wave theory. So good recommendation on Keep. So thank you for that, Sunshine. This is not financial or trading advice to everyone, just what I'm seeing. So I would definitely look at this. Keep your eye on this. This might start running again. So let's look here. Anytime, brother. Anytime. Let's see. Alex, you guys, I am far behind in the comments here, so just bear with me. Boston Protocol. I don't know much about it at all, actually. Shame on Six Fig. So let's look at this. Oops, I think I pulled up the wrong one. We don't want to compare this to Bitcoin. I want to compare this to the US dollar. There we go. That's what I like. Okay, so what we have here is, man, the way I'm seeing this, if we get a reversal here at this $1.36 level, this thing might be setting up for a downfall. Possibly. Bear with me 1 second here. And I say this because right out of the gates, I'm kind of seeing somewhat of a rising wedge, and this is never really a good thing to see on a chart. So I'll be curious to see if this really reverses around the $1.38 level. If it does, expect it to come down to the $1.20, but don't expect it to bounce to the upside after that. That could break to the bottom. I want to do one thing. I'm looking for the 127 level up here. Let's measure off this bottom, and we can see how the 127 comes right up to this trend line and kind of right where this is kind of spacing. So $1.38, this thing might be getting ready to turn around. We could be seeing early, I don't know, this would look kind of weird. We might see some sort of early ascending triangle there, but not likely. I do think that this is rocking the rising wedge right now. VGX, thank you for VGX. I do think VGX is one of the most underrated coins for sure. I haven't really covered much on VGX simply because the engagement is just not there with the videos. So I've kind of stopped covering it, and I don't mind covering this on live streams. But this was kind of a some charting that I drew up earlier today, folks. So we can see that this is in a wedge pattern right now. I do think that this thing is prepping to move to the upside, and we can see that the lows are getting higher, and we can see that this 50 moving average is jetting down, and I do think that we will see the 50 moving average turn around and rip to the upside here. What's going to be interesting about this, though, is if we see Voyager token stop at this trend line here at right about the $2.65 level, or a little bit lower, maybe the $2.58 level, or if we see it stop around the $2.70 level. So over the next week, if you see Voyager token ripping above this $2.60 and into the $2.70-ish level, you'll know that there is a chance Voyager token is filling out this beautiful ascending triangle that goes into the end of November. And I do think that this is the building block that's going to really shoot Voyager token to the upside. I truly think that. If you're looking for a cheap coin that has 2-3x potential, not financial or trading advice, but I think in all due time, this coin and this company has every bit of potential to go higher. And if we just kind of look at some price estimates right now out of the gates, the $3.21 level would be huge. I think for all the Voyager token holders right now, everybody's been buying in so low. It would really help motivate people to keep buying. But if we can get some better gains here, $4.54 might be an option here. I don't know when, but I do think that $4.50 is going to be an important number to get back up to. Let's see here. Bear with me one second here. I'm just kind of looking through some of these comments. Okay. DCIP. Fortunately, I can't get DCIP, so I do apologize. Let's look at VeChain. I know a lot of people in here probably have a little bag of V. You can see here I was probably speculating at some point in time that we would see a Fibonacci time sequence. I don't remember the last time I was on this chart, but I was kind of speculating that we might have seen a Fibonacci sequence on October 14th at 7 a.m. or on October 15th at 7 p.m. So it looks like I was toying with the fact that there could be some sort of double confirmation playing within this time frame. And it looks like I predicted this exactly right here. So that's interesting to see. I always love going back to these charts that I haven't been to for a while and checking it out. Probably the last time I covered this was a live stream. So we can see price squeezed and shot up here, came back down. Let's go ahead and remove all of this. Let's look at this on a daily chart just to kind of see where this is going. So this is a very interesting pattern. And gosh, it's kind of a really bad cup and handle, if you want to call it that. But I think somebody could make the argument that VeChain is in a cup and handle formation. And I do think that if we go ahead and throw up a shift pitchfork, okay, right now VeChain is trying to break to the upside. So we can see this middle ground of this red line, which is the middle ground. Anything above this is resistance pushing down like gravity. Anything below this line is support. So right now, VeChain is really trying to get up into this upper channel to start flying. So I think VeChain has all the potential in the world to 2x, or at least 2x from here. I do think that we might see something like this play out, where we have these lows just climbing higher, and we might see this thing knocking at 20 cents here if the bull market takes off, maybe sometime in November. Wouldn't surprise me to the downside, though. Let's discuss both sides on this, because the way this is squeezing, I just am seeing that we have potential to possibly move to the downside. And I know people don't want to hear that, but we have to assume that, symmetrical triangle squeeze off a bare leg, even though the given circumstances of the market are bullish. If this thing starts cooking to the downside, possibly could see, I would say the first stop to the downside would be 9.5 cents, 7 cents. If things get really super nasty, like 3 cents. VeChain is a solid project though. Let's see here. Oh, Strika. Sorry, bro. I just saw this comment here. This is I wish you guys could see where I'm looking at in the comments, and it's just everything's buried for me. So we'll look at Atom. See what we got for Atom. Where is my US dollar? Cosmos. Cosmos. So this is another one I must have been looking at and messing around with. At some point in time, I drew up this Fibonacci extension, and look at this. This came right up to the 127. Boom. That's my favorite number to guess reversals, folks. We can see Atom is going to probably come down and test. It looks like it already did test this 88.6. So that is interesting. Okay, so I wonder when I visited this chart last. I am seeing a falling wedge on the RSI, so I do think that this thing is getting ready to kick back up. Let's get a look at this. Yeah, I like this. And I am kind of seeing, let's look at this in like a 4-hour chart. And I mean, one could make the argument with Atom that we are possibly, I hate to do this, but it kind of looks like this thing might be in some sort of falling wedge. 50 moving average is trading under the 200. We're below the cloud on the 4-hour chart. The second this 50 moving average starts veering or curving, this thing is going to fly to the upside. We can see our conversion line here in the Ichimoku cloud trading is also kind of hanging in the guts. So once we see this come and cross back over or start arcing, kind of like this 50, we will see price action start moving to the upside. It almost looks like it has already. Just going to do something here. Visual order, bring to the front. And so we can't really see that this is really starting to turn yet, but I do think that this is coming to an end, and we were going to see price action move back up to the upside, and this might swing to the $41 level for a retest. So great coin there, whoever recommended Atom. BTT, I haven't seen Packable in the comments. I'm not sure who else is out there. BTT. So it looks like the last time we were looking at BTT, we were kind of hoping that this thing would go into some sort of descending triangle with this floor here, but that looks like we have broken through this. So, oh, I'm looking at BTT market dominance to Bitcoin. So I need to look at the US dollar. I was like, wow, this thing took a real hard turn. Let's look at that. There we go. Is this BTT USD? Is this right? BTT to the dollar. That's what I'm looking at. So about 0.003 cents. I mean, we're seeing a lot of these same market patterns. BTT had this huge run up in January, retracement. This was very similar to what the rest of the market has been seeing. Very similar pattern to CKB in a way. But with that said, let's really look at this at a high level on the daily chart. We can see that price action is well below the 50 moving average, and this thing just crossed through the cloud on the daily chart. So this is not the best. Usually we'll see a corrective wave to the downside, but let's just see where this thing might go. And what I'm seeing here, folks, develop here in the last couple of weeks is the potential for some Gartley. So let's go ahead and just do a little Gartley on this. So bear with me 1 second. So what the Gartley pattern does is it measures these different patterns, or it measures price points along with basic Fibonacci. And what we're trying to do is guess where D could land us. So right now, this is going to be my x-axis. It's going to be my a-axis, b-axis, c-axis. So if you want a little lesson here, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And what I'm looking for here is for a 61.8 to 786 retracement. And I'm looking for this point right here to be a 61.8 to 786 extension. So we're going to use point A, measure down to X, which is right here. And so this is perfect. So we're measuring this point here. Let's go ahead and mark this off. Boom. And I'm going to go ahead and change this color to orange. Actually, I'm going to change this color to blue. And then let's go ahead, get rid of that. And we'll go ahead and measure again. And boom, we are seeing exactly what we want to see. This right here. So that is telling me that, bear with me 1 second, when I'm looking for this 127 area, I do think that we might see BTT start inching its way down to right around this 0.00233 cent level. So that would kind of be a concern for me. And one other thing is that there might be some sort of a potential to see BTT pull off some sort of falling wedge and then reverse to the upside. So keep your eyes on BTT. If you see this thing trading lower, it might have some issues. And if we look at this at a super high level, we can see this nasty retracement. And then it looks like this thing is just, this looks like computer trading to me. We can see these series of symmetrical triangles that are forming, and it is just dropping and dropping and dropping. So just a guess, this is not financial or trading advice. If you held in BTT, you need to make your own decisions. But if I was in this position, I'd be looking to either pick up more at 0.00232 or keep an eye on it. I need to look at the comments section. So see, really hope for the best for the crew at VGX. I agree. Great group. If you guys are looking for a good community, join the VGX Heroes. One of the most solid communities I think there probably is. HBAR. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just looking through these comments here. I'm so far behind. So HBAR. Let's look at it. Oh, how about this? Let's, before we get into HBAR. Adam has been doing so good. My 81-year-old mom has a big bag in her Coinbase. No shit. That's awesome. I'm happy. Makes me happy to see comments like that. So HBAR. So HBAR really sprung on the scene this year. I do remember I was holding a bunch of this, and then I sold way too early because I don't know why. But I had a bunch of HBAR probably, oh man. So this would have been February. I had HBAR. So I was holding HBAR somewhere right in here at this 0.09 cent level, and then it just cruised to the upside. I think I was probably working this Elliott wave theory to the upside here and wasn't expecting this huge jump up the next month. So you live and you learn, right? let's go ahead and do something here right away out of the gates with HBAR. So we see this cup that could be forming. The keyword is could. We just observe things, right? And what I'm looking for here is some sort of handle to form after this. And we might be seeing it here. It looks like, though, we have a symmetrical triangle forming off a bare leg, but we are still in quite the uptrend. So I do think there might be a possibility that we see price action maybe start coming to the upside here, and we might get this little cup and handle formation. I would say that right now, this thing is going to break to the upside any second or any minute, any hour. So let's throw up a little time sequence. And I think we might be seeing this thing, an accurate Fibonacci time sequence. Look for something to take off, reverse pivot point, October 26th. Let's see, let's really narrow this down, because that was a 12-hour time frame I was about to give you, and I hate doing that. I mean, look at this, though. I mean, these things intersect perfectly at this time sequence. So scratch that last date and time. Look for October 29th, 6 a.m., give or take an hour to 4 hours on each side of that. And this might be a point where price action leaves the channel. We might see price action leave the channel, reverse, and come back down like this. We might see price action come down like this and reverse to the upside. So those are just some things to kind of look for when we start seeing these time sequence. And these time sequence are accurate. Predicted this reversal here, the top here, a reversal here. So it makes, I have no doubt that something around October 29th is going to be some sort of reversal point or something along that nature. Let's see. Let's do so time sequence. Let's get into this. Let's get into this right now, because I do care about everyone's ability to trade on their own. I think that with the current the way currently schools are set up, that's something they don't teach. So a lot of people are self-taught. I never went to any school to trade. I was kind of groomed to trade since I was probably 10 years old. So let's go to Bitcoin. We'll circle back to HBAR here, but I want to really hit this nail on the head right now. So there's a variety of ways you can use Fibonacci time sequence. So on these grander scale charts, like the daily chart, a good time sequence would be if we know that there was a black swan event. Yeah, I know, dude. Like, it sounds creepy, but it's not, man. It might be my voice. I'm losing my voice. And anyways, I can tell you that I've been around traders my whole life, and I've been in the same room. They're watching markets on TV before you could even electronically make a trade. I used to remember these guys calling stock exchanges and their brokerages to place trade orders, and they wouldn't know if their trade was instantly executed or executed at close or executed the next morning. So it was really crazy. But one thing we can do here is a great high point to a swing low point. And this is the coronavirus pivot. And I bet if we draw a swing high to a swing low point based off of this, we might see some indications of future pivot points. So with that said, This is really good. I want to make sure that I dial this in. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so we measured this up. We can see that there was a pivot point here, a shift in momentum. Same with right here. This predicted the day that momentum swung downwards. There wasn't really much of an indicator here, but we can see this indicator on October the 2nd was warning us that something big was about to happen with the market. And interestingly enough, time sequence 13 indicated that there was some sort of top about to happen or reversal point. It's kind of right in the halfway point there, which is not surprising that this is off a little bit, given that this was such a highly volatile times. But had we seen this point here and this point here, and we start counting out Elliott wave theory, and this is why you guys need to look up Elliott wave theory, I would have definitely suspected that if I would have been trading Bitcoin at this time, which I wasn't, I would have definitely said, okay, this is the top for the Elliott wave theory somewhere in here. And I would have rode this thing all the way up to the top and sold off. But again, so this is very interesting to me. So then we look at the most current time sequence, and it was just like this. We had a spinning top, which is a shift in momentum for the market. Usually when you see spinning tops or doji stars, you're going to see momentum change right here. Spinning tops here. When you start seeing these spinning tops, there's one right here, this green thing, another one right here. So when you start seeing these, you know that the bulls and bears are fighting, and a reversal or continuation is likely to happen. But the next candle, this thing shot straight up. So interestingly enough, here we are. Based off this black swan event, we are able to predict all of this in hindsight. And that's how Fibonacci time sequence works. And that's how important it is for everybody to be looking for this stuff on the upside. And here we go. I mean, we might be seeing, and this is not financial or trading advice, we might be seeing the next Elliott wave theory move to the upside. And that's why it's important that you follow this channel as well, too, because I'm going to be reporting on this the whole way if I see it. And if you were here earlier, I was kind of mentioning how we would see Elliott wave theory impulses within Elliott wave theory impulses. So, let's see here. Let's go back to HBAR. You're very welcome. If I could give anybody advice on trading, it would be to learn bullish and bearish patterns, ascending triangles, symmetrical triangles, things like that. And then it would be to learn Elliott wave theory and basic Fibonacci. Then time sequence might help too. But one thing let's look at here, I'm just going to point this out. I'm curious now to see what this level is up here. If we throw up a little Fibonacci, 476. Wow. Yeah, Bitcoin is an animal. Man, I tell you guys, it's just so crazy. I mean, this could have just been a huge cup and handle that formed. We might be seeing some movement to the upside. Inverse head and shoulders. I mean, man, your guess is as good as mine. Okay, so I want the inside scoop from the kid who sat around the stock exchange watching their parents. Yeah, I wish it was my parents, man. It was a lot of uncles and friends and things like that. Believe it or not, nothing really ever learned or handed down from my parents. They're not traders at all by any means. But I did hang around the rich oil traders whenever I got a chance, for sure. My uncle was one of them. Traded oil for, gosh, 20, 30 years. And I'll tell you a story really quick. And I'll never forget this story. Oil trader, when he makes trades, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars each way. And this was probably within the last 10 years. Well, I'm going to say 15 years. He was in a trade. His daughter hit an animal with her car, comes home, and obviously he sees her pull up to the house with a smashed up window or smashed up front end of her car. I don't know what she hit. And so he goes running outside. She's okay. They're checking on the car. He totally forgets that he's in this, trade that is about as large as someone's house. And we're talking $100,000, $200,000. And he realizes that he's in the middle of this trade, and he runs back inside, and he ended up, the market had taken off, and he ended up making several $100,000 like within 20 minutes. So I think he bought her a new car after that happened. But let's get back to HBAR. I think I got to type this in. I don't think I have it saved. HBAR. So yeah, HBAR, we got somewhat of a crooked bull flagpole, symmetrical triangle forming. We got the 50 pressing right up against price action below the cloud. This is a super important time for HBAR. We need to get this price action up through this weak side of the cloud. There's not much cloud coverage here. It should be easy for price action to move to the upside. And this is what we need HBAR to do. We can see that this is actually more of a bull flag formation. When you start seeing this rectangular or square consolidation off these flagpoles, this is a good sign. So I do hope that we see price kind of move right up through this alleyway. This is exactly what we want to see for HBAR. And if we see this thing take off, I think a safe bet for HBAR would be about 66 cents before she turns around. It's going to run into some resistance at 43 cents, 47, 52, 58, but if it can make it through those, we're talking 66 cents. So yeah, that's definitely one of my more favorite stories for sure. So I think, folks, at this time, let's see, I was planning to try to get off by like 11:05, so I'm going to really just end it now. It's getting late. I want to respect everybody's time. I don't want you up watching this TA. Well, you got to get up for work in the morning or something. But let's give a huge shout out to Strika. He's been moderating. I need you guys that are here, if you're not following him, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead, drop his Twitter handle in the comments section. Make sure you follow him. He is a juggernaut in the CKB space. So I do appreciate you being here with us, Strika, and I do appreciate all of you guys being here, tuning into tonight's kind of random TA, but we had one hell of an audience all night long. So it's always great to see people excited about crypto, especially when the market's pumping, CKB's pumping. Everything's going good right now. So CKB, we're going to end the night with nice bull flagpole, squeezing, symmetrical triangle. I do think, like I said earlier, we are going to see this kind of come back in towards the cloud and move back upwards. Kind of like what we see, maybe similar to here. At least this is what I'm hoping for. So hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and I'm going to go ahead and end the stream.